Good afternoon, crafters. My name is Hannah Roxbury, and I'm here on the Carnation Crafts brand page with a Facebook show dedicated to all things New Light, which is a brand new dye collection that launched on our website this morning. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I'm sorry I have to continuously do this on every single live we seem to do. Please don't click on any links coming up in the feed. It doesn't matter how many rules we implement, how many filters we implement. It seems the scammers just keep going onto our feeds and adding ridiculous links. So please don't click on them. They're not official links, regardless of what the thing says. I know the team are on it and they are deleting as fast as they can. So just little heads up, please don't click on any of the links in the comments. Lots of people joining us already, so a very good afternoon to you. We've got Judy from Huddersfield. Pearl says, hope I'm in the right place. Absolutely, Pearl. The Facebook shows are always shown on our brand page, so you have come to the right place. Pam's here. June's here, Carol's here as well. Lots and lots of people joining us already, which is wonderful. Thank you. Got Fiona from the DT, which is lovely. Suzanne says, hi Hannah and all the crafts out there from a cold and overcast Bognor Regis. I brought this set of dies at 5:45 this morning and they're already on their way. Can't wait to start crafting with them. Oh, Suzanne, that's fantastic. And please don't forget, anything that you do make, we would love to see. So do consider sharing your makes with us over on our group page, which is Carnation Crafters. Pauline's here. We've got Kath here. Carol says my hair looks nice. That's nice. Thank you, Carol. I gave it a wash this morning. It does tend to help somewhat. Which is really funny. Sheila's here. She says she can't wait to see this new collection. A couple of people asking about queries regarding orders through Create and Craft. Really sorry, guys. If you've got questions relating to Create and Craft service or their broadcasting, you're going to have to email them. I know, obviously, with all the transition period, with the merger and everything, it is a little bit slower than normal, but they are getting back to people. So please don't worry on that front. Just give them a little bit of time and they will get back to you. But just direct your queries over to their customer service team who will be able to help you. Unfortunately, we're a completely separate company, so we just can't advise on anything regarding that. Julie's here. Mary says, hello everyone from Middlewich in Cheshire, which is lovely. Lots of people looking forward to this collection. As I say, just a reminder, please don't click on any of the links that are being put up in the comments, and the team are dealing with them. Rika's here from Denmark, so we've got international as well, which is fantastic. So this afternoon is all about New Light. It is a collection that launched 2 weeks ago on Create and Craft. It is now available direct on our own website. I just checked before we just came live and it is available still. So do get your orders placed if you are interested in this collection. What we're going to do for this Facebook Live is go through what is in the collection for you. And then we're going to do a nice little demonstration of featuring apertures, the card shape, the orchid and the plush pals with another few added extras as well. Anything that you do see within the Facebook shows and things like that, or indeed shared by the DT, for their show samples, you are more than welcome to take the inspiration from and recreate your own versions too. Okay, let's have a little look. So if we just call up that first screen, I can't quite fit it in because it is this huge collection. This is the New Light die set. Okay, so this is the die, this is the collection, this contains all of the dies included. What is glorious about this collection is it's our second sort of baby themed, sort of nursery themed collection. But being Carnation Crafts, everything could be used for a multitude of different occasions as well, which is lovely. To the centre of that picture, obviously, we have our card shape. If you're familiar with Carnation Crafts, you will already know at the heart of each collection, we try and bring you something a little bit different when it comes to a card shape. And we will be showing how to use that in the demonstration. Also included are a whole host of beautiful florals. Again, not overtly baby themed, so you could use those on anniversary cards, on birthday cards, whatever you like, but they feature really, really lovely floral designs. We've also got our little animals, the little toys, little plush pals you may find in the nursery as well, and they are ever so sweet. Again, we will be using those in the demonstration. There's rocking horses, there's hot air balloons, there's all manner of little accoutrements to this collection which just work so beautifully together. So let's take a closer look at that card shape. In essence, what we have here is an oval card shape, which is an oval gatefold, but it doesn't obviously just stop there. With Carnation Crafts, there's so many more things you can be doing with this card shape alone. If you want to take that outermost die and create your oval card blank, your oval gate card from it, you can absolutely do that. But included within this, you've got a whole host of mats and layers that could double as apertures. You have got cutaways to make little, almost like little portholes for the little animals to look out of. You've got a really lovely, almost like a sunbeam effect to the centre, surrounded by lots and lots of filigree. Again, really, really detailed. Every square inch of that die collection is packed full of design elements too. Lots and lots of ways of using that. To the bottom of the screen, you'll see those little triangles. The oval is designed so it will stand up. It has a flatter bottom, but if you want that extra little bit of support, we've included a couple of little kickstands in there as well that you can also use. And along the top, you see there the sentiment. We've got new, baby, to and from, so you can use those in a variety of ways also. Joseph here. Hello from a grumpy husband. Busy saving up for your next new collection later this month. Ah, you're a good husband, Joseph. I don't know about grumpy. It's nice to see you tuning in today as well. Let's just see. Jill Haley from Swansea, which is lovely. We've got Fiona. Oh, a couple of Fionas on the bouncer. Sam says, I've had mine for a few weeks and I've just started playing with it. Lovely. Don't forget to share your mates with us. Janet says, I'm out for a birthday lunch, but we'll catch up later. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Janet. Yeah, and that's really worth pointing out. All of the videos that we do, all the tutorials and things, we do upload not only to our Facebook page, but also our YouTube channel. So if you just head along to YouTube and type in Carnation Crafts, you'll find our channel. Subscribe as well, because you'll get a notification each time we put a new video up there as well. The next set I'd like to share with you within this collection is the Orchid Flourish. This is just glorious, and what's lovely about the 3 different florals included within this collection is they're kind of like a long line design. I will show you the orchid because I have one to hand. Just here. Oh, it's so hard when you've got a little screen to get that into. But you see how it's a nice long line design. You've got the orchid centrally, then you've got the small orchids and little buds around, but it's a nice kind of swag to the front of your card. Also included, you've got your decoupage layers, so you can be adding height and dimension to your makes, and you have an additional little corner as well. So it's great for adding those extra little balancing devices and those little extras to give you that little push when it comes to design. We've also got included within this collection the Cosmos and Lily. So this is a lovely blue flower with the white lily of the valleys surrounding, similar sort of design, nice swag to the centre, mats and layers as well, so you could create this as a topper in its own right. Decoupage layers and your corner. Now you're going to have to forgive me because I've forgotten to put the slide up for the daffodil, but we will be using parts of the daffodil in the daffodil and gypsophilia in the demonstration as well, so you will get to see that too. Next up, we have got plush pals. I love these. I think they're just the cutest little animals. And this is where that kind of lovely baby theme comes in. You've got your little giraffe, your little woolly mammoth, and your bears. They can then interact with items that you might find in the nursery. Things like the toy box there, for example. All of your little plush pals could be sitting along the top of the toy box. You've got your lovely wooden chair, which again could have that blanket draped over it and your plush pals nestled in place too, as well as a little stool. So there's lots of ways of interacting with these and adding them. With regards to the vignettes, again, beautiful colours to these. Let me just show you the giraffe because he's super, super cute. Look at his little face. So sweet, just makes you smile. Lovely big doe eyes on that. Very, very sweet. Similar with the woolly mammoth there. Again, it's that artistry in the artwork. It's that vignette, that coloured artwork that brings these die cuts to life. If you're not familiar with Carnation Crafts, what we bring you with each collection, for all of the detailed dies, we give you free to download artwork. It's called vignettes, and you can access those through our website, carnationcrafts.co.uk. If you need a how-to video on how we achieve the looks with them or anything like that, we do have step-by-step guides not only on our website under the inspiration tab, but also we do have videos on how to cut out your vignettes on our YouTube channel too. Trace just said the orchid is stunning. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely beautiful. All the florals within this collection are gorgeous, and as I mentioned, not necessarily just for baby cards either, which I think is fabulous. Lynn's just asked, are you still on Create and Craft, Hanno? Yeah, absolutely, Lynn. We were literally on, I was on Wednesday, I think it was. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday with Back to Air show for Wandering in Nature, and Carla will be back on your screens with a brand new launch of a new USB, Beautiful Calm, on Monday morning. So keep looking out for more information on that. And we're back at the end of the month with a new die collection too. Next up, we have got this little beauty here. This is Miniature Marvel. This is so sweet. This is our little rocking horse. Very, very cute there. Little pony just sort of trotting along, just looking really, really sweet. Again, you've got your mats and layers on this. So this could well be a card in its own right. Can be a topper, of course, and of course you can cut the mats and layers out as apertures as well. I haven't got it for this demonstration. Maybe it's something that might feature in a Back to Air or something like that if we do bring this collection back to air. This is amazing if you use it on things like the circle nested dies. If you fold one of the circles in half to create a rocker card, so you get that not only the movement in the card, but also the theme of the rocking horse running through it as well. It's a really, really lovely way of using that particular die set. And finally, within this collection, we have got Up and Away. You know, that's not the only one. I don't know what's going on with my screen today, because we've also got Lace and Rattan, and again, I will be using this in this demonstration, but for some reason, you know what it's like, me and technology, that slide's been eaten as well. That's what you get for prepping in advance, isn't it? Up and Away is the die set we're featuring at the moment with our little hot air balloon. So again, great for nursery themed cards, isn't it? Perhaps it's their first birthday, second birthday, whatever it may be. But also great for those who may be Bon Voyage cards or New Adventure cards, retirement cards, for example. Lots of ways, and including these within your designs. I did briefly mention that we've got the Lace and Rattan. That's a bit of a mouthful. Included as well. I don't know what's going on with the slides. I'm really sorry, guys. But if I just bring back in the full collection, you can see there you've got lots and lots and lots of dies to be enjoying with the New Light collection. If you're looking for the New Light collection on our website, you can head onto the website, click on shop, followed by dies, and then filter by collection. On the right hand side is a little drop down box. You can click New Light and it will bring up all the dies associated with the New Light collection. Alternatively, if you note down this number, which is 220213, if you type that into the search box, that will bring up the New Light collection for you. Individually, all the elements would work out at £141.93, but because we're doing a special bundle price on this item, it is taking the price down to £109.99. And don't forget, if you do sign up to your newsletter, we do give you discount codes within the newsletter that you could use on this purchase as well. Stace says, I can see our mice appearing and making friends with the plush plows. That's a lovely idea. I would really love to see that. I think that would look gorgeous, Stace. Lots and lots of ways of interacting with previous collections there as well. So for this demonstration, what I thought I'd bring you is a little overview. I know it's already been shared previously. I know Carla did a demonstration for you guys in group on how to cut and line up your apertures and things like that. But I thought it might be nice to do that again with this one, just for anyone who might have missed it, and give you a little bit of inspiration with that. So we're going to be working on a white on white theme for the background, which really then enhances the beautiful coloured artwork included within the New Light collection itself. So let's turn that camera around for a top-down view. Let me just give you a little walk around the New Light card shape. This beautiful oval gatefold card. As you can see, it's a really nice size die that. Let me just, I haven't got a ruler to hand, which is pretty typical for me. I'll measure the center panel because that will give you sort of a rough idea of what it is closed, because obviously that's what you need to know if you're posting or anything like that. So across the centre there, you're looking about 5 inches by about, let's see, I would say about 7 inches on that as well. Obviously within the pack, because it's a die, the sides are open, but these two sides can fold in to the centre. I'll just take it out of its storage packaging there so it's not reflecting on the light, so you can see in more detail. So on this side you've got your mats and layers and your filigree if you want to cover your gatefold there. And of course, if you wanted that on both sides, you can easily just turn that around 180 degrees and that will then fit on this side as well. Oh, my mum's watching. She says, hello, darling. Hello, mum. And also included, we have got this little die set here, which cuts little holes, little apertures in the fronts of your cards. Again, not necessarily having to be used with the New Light card shape. You could cut this into, I don't know, a 9x7 card blank, for example, and then have little pull tools that you could have your little plush pals popping their heads out of to say hello. You've got corner elements here, again, if you want to decorate other elements of your cards. You've got nested dies. We've got the sentiment, as we mentioned, 2 from New and Baby. These are these little kickstands I mentioned. Not only do they obviously cut out the card, but they include a little score line as well. And they're great for just adding a little bit of stability to the back of your card. And then, of course, to the centre panel here, you've got your mats and layers, this beautiful filigree, and this lovely, lovely sunburst design. So the filigree on this particular one cuts out of the card, but the centre here cuts and remains in the card because it doesn't have an outside cutting edge. So again, lots of different ways of using these. Now, what we did mention was I was going to go through how we create apertures and how we can line up apertures easily. So I'm going to take these 2 little centre panels like so, and we're just going to give you a quick demonstration on how to cut and align apertures. So I've just grabbed 2 sheets. I think these are 350 GSM Perfect Smooth cardstock. 2 sheets of those. Just give them a shuffle, pretending this was, I don't know, a cut down card front where you wanted to create an aperture into it. What I'm going to do is use a little bit of repositionable tape and just stick those 2 layers together. It's something I do. You don't have to do this, but it just keeps everything a little bit more neat and tidy. Now what we need to choose is our smaller aperture, and we're going to cut that into our card. Okay, so we're going to pop the larger one to one side for the moment. Remember, we've got the 2 sheets of cardstock together, and we're going to cut this aperture to the center. Okay, I'm not measuring it out, I'm not lining it up. If I was putting this on a finished card blank, I'd probably measure down to get the halfway through the top, halfway through the side, to allow me to find the center point of the card and align it. But this is just for demonstration purposes. 2 bits of repositionable tape, and I'm just going to get the sticky off that. The thing with repositionable tape, not only is it a bit of a mouthful to say, but while it is repositionable in normal circumstances, once you put it through the machine and apply a little bit of pressure, it kind of gets super sticky, super strong. So we're just going to dab a little bit of that sticky off on our sleeve, just to make it a little bit more workable. And when it comes to sticking, I know this might sound like a really obvious thing to say, but we're going to stick that way round. So you're sticking only a little bit on the outside of the cardstock, and the majority is going to stick into the centre. So anything where you're cutting away, try and keep most of your sticky on your cutting away bit, okay? Also, another point to consider when taping down dies and things like that is have the tape evenly spread, so you've got even points within the hold to keep things nice and symmetrical as well. That's going to go through my die cutting machine. So remember, we've got our die on top and our 2 sheets of card there. Normal plate combination, I'm using my Gemini, but just normal plate combination for this type of die set, and a well-loved piece of cut tidy as well. and through the machine it will go. Okay. Do remember, if you've got any questions as we're going through this demonstration, by all means type them up and I will do my very best to answer as we go. Oh, that was a bit of a loud one. Okay, so that's cut through. Remember, we're starting with our smallest die. You get this nice satisfying little click as the paper layers just take away from one another. We're going to gently, very gently, take away the tape from the surrounding area and then discard that cutaway for another project for another day. Okay. I'm also going to put that smaller die out of reach as well, before I make a mistake and use the wrong one. Now, where you've got obviously your tape sticking on your surround, you're going to have a little bit of residue. Okay, it's going to be a little bit sticky. All you need to do is try and not cover the camera, Hannah. That tends to not help much. Oh, where are you, eraser? My eraser's gone walkies. How annoying. Do I have another one to hand? I believe so. No. Well, that's probably Morphe Cat's run off with that. If you've got any areas on your card where it's sticky and you need to remove it, you can simply use something like either a cow gun rubber or a normal eraser, and it will just lift the sticky away from the surface of your cardstock. Again there, getting a bit too over enthusiastic with my tape and ripping the surface, but for demonstration purposes, that doesn't matter. That little piece is going to go to one side. Okay, so we're finished with that one for now. The piece underneath now has the imprint left of the smaller die set. Okay, that means we can come in with our larger die, and we've got a ready-made guide telling us where to line up to enable us to cut absolutely perfectly the next element away from the cardstock. So I'm not going to get my head in the way. I'm not going to lean right over and get my head in the way of the camera. But we go in, repeat that process. So tape down, pop my aperture to one side, flip that over, save my extra tape for another day, cut tidy in, normal plate combination, and through my machine it goes. Okay, once that comes out the other side, I can show you that will all align and give you perfect apertures. Again, just going to ease that one out of the tape, both top and bottom, popping that to one side for another project. Now obviously this is the larger one and you've got your smaller one as well, so you would just align like so, because you take that card to get together to begin with, it stays in the same orientation, giving you that perfect cut on your apertures, that perfect alignment each and every time. Okay, hopefully that's given you guys a little bit of inspiration and something you'd then like to try out at home. What I've done for this demonstration is repeated that process, but I've cut down the card design. Okay, so you can kind of see where we're going with that. This is exactly the same as the cutting demo we've just done, but all we've done here is trimmed down that layer and created a little matten layer around it as well. We've then repeated the process and used the filigree layer as a little inlay as well to give you this wonderful backing look to your design. I could have really done with that rubber. I don't know where it's gone. My apologies, guys. But we'll crack on regardless, shall we? So we've got our card blank measured to fit the strips of card, the panels of card I'm going to be including within the shape itself. No, I haven't got another one. So I'll just rub the rubber off, like so. Each layer that we've created using that same process, we've included a little bit of foam tape on the back. Now you'll notice, because I've not only used the third matten layer, but also the filigree, which would then cut out of your card, also the dies that go as your surround for your sunburst, to keep them all in place. We've just applied red liner tape all the way around those cut lines and basically just paper pieced those elements back in. Okay, now this would be really, really lovely with a sheet of acetate behind it. Perhaps you could make this as a shaker card, for example, include some sequins or some glitter, include the tiny lights to make it a light up card as well. That would be really, really pretty. Or if you popped acetate behind it, you could always colour in the acetate with things like alcohol markers, and that way you'd get this sort of coloured, like a stained glass effect from this as well. So I've chosen to raise this up on foam pads because it will give you a really lovely drop shadow to the background. So I'm just aligning that with the card base we have cut, just removing the one layer of tape and sticking. So we've got that anchor point, we've got that element then laid down perfectly. Next up, let's go in and remove the carrier sheet from the other elements of foam. Now you notice I'm just taking the carrier sheet from the foam itself that is around the edges of the card. The foam here, sort of closer to the inside, that will just act as a support mechanism to stop the centre of the card dropping down. So you don't need to worry about sticking all of that in place as well. There we go, first layer in place. Next layer, again, each time you're popping a layer down, just check you're using the right one, like it's going in the right combination. And once again, foam tape around the edge, just taking the carrier sheet, folding it over the edge of the card to create a little tab, and then not only aligning it with the outside mats and layers, but making sure we align that with the apertures that have been cut as well. Again, I'm not going to get my head in the way of the camera shot, so I'm going to hope that's nice and level, which isn't because I just knocked it. Hey, typical. Hold that in place and remove the carrier sheet of the foam. Just giving us that anchor point leaves you hands free to then go in and remove the rest of the foam without having to worry about keeping everything aligned. Just makes your lining up process just that little bit easier. Just taking away the carrier sheet on the other foam and then just laying that back down and burnishing into place before the final layer. So each one of these layers is applied with a 1mm foam, so as not to give too much height. We don't want too much depth on this because we've still got layers to add on the top. And of course you could achieve this kind of look, this kind of design with any number of your filigree frames you have from Carnation Crafts in your collection. But I think having it with the oval with a rectangle card base really gives an elegant look, doesn't it? Okay, so last little layer going in there, just aligning that all the way round, holding that down in place and peeling off that foam tape to anchor that in position. Gonna remove the edge ones as well. And I've put a little strip, I've trimmed down a strip just so we can get that edge in play as well. And then finally, these little corners here too. And final one, just like so. That's going to give us our card blank onto which we can start crafting. So at this stage, really, this could be a birthday card, this could be an anniversary card. It doesn't necessarily have to turn into a baby card if you don't want it to. Lots and lots of versatility with these die sets. Now I'm going to get a few little drops of glue ready just because I need them on hand for the next part of constructing this card. So I'm using my everyday glue from Carnation Crafts with this little twist nozzle, and I'm just going to pop that into one of the little trays on my multimedia mat. Should probably mention actually, this whole card has been constructed using the Perfect Smooth cardstock in the 220, I think it is, or 240 GSM. So you've got this lovely sort of clean white finish. White on white is such an attractive card design. Having the foam between the layers creates a tiny little bit of drop shadow to give you a point of reference to a point of depth for your filigree and things like that. But it's just there as added detail, okay? As soon as we introduce something as glorious as that, I mean, just take a look at those beautiful, beautiful orchids there. Being white on white, it really, really makes the colour pop, doesn't it? We're going to have a few orchids climbing around the edge of the card. We're going to balance those orchids with one at the top as well. But because we would like to make a baby card, we will include some plush pals in there as well. We're going to use the lace from the Lace and Rattan as a little nod to the background, keeping it with that filigree, and that will work as tuck-ins within the design. But we will also feature our little plush pals, perhaps nestled in the orchids there, just to give you that little, just a little smile, a little bit of humour. And we have taken the decoupage layers from the daffodils to add these in around the orchid as well, if you just want to lift that colour. The final element we will be adding is a little sentiment saying new baby in nice neutral colours as well. Okay, so let's get going with a few of these. First up, I'm going to trim down some of this lovely lace, just to work as more of a tuck-in rather than a full sort of fan panel shape. And I'm just having a look at it and seeing where I would like to begin my cut line. So I think I'm going to take it there to begin with, and all I'm doing is just trimming away the cut line details that are already in place. So just gently following that fan with my scissors, and then just coming up the side and trimming that little area down as well. Because it's going to be used as a tuck-in, it doesn't matter whether it's symmetrical or things, it's just going to be there as a hint in the background. Perhaps we want one which will come perhaps down here, and then maybe along that line of the card. But because you've got the ability to print and cut as many times as you like, you're not kind of tied in. You can then choose areas, you can use little snip-ins, you can use more elements. It's totally up to you. You've got the options there. Just going to trim out this whole section as well, because I think that might be, or could be, nice within the design too. And just releasing the little lacy elements from the lace fan as well. So just taking our time. Remember, when you're cutting, the easiest way to cut and ensure a nice smooth rounded edge is to move the paper rather than the scissors. So remember, the scissors are staying stationary this whole time, and I'm just moving the paper around like so. I will go in and just neaten that up a little bit, just to make sure we haven't got any harsh lines going on. But taking the time just to level things up really does create a beautiful look and a nice sort of luxurious feel to your card designs. And let's go down there and there. So I'm giving myself lots of different ways of using this lace. I'm going to just have a little pile of lace that I can use as a tuck-in later on. Similarly with the orchids, I want them to wrap around this oval. I mean, they would look absolutely glorious just as is with a happy birthday on or something like that. But I think for me, I'd like to just continue that line around the side and across the bottom of the card itself. So once again, snippability. That is the wonderful thing with Carnation craft dies. Yes, they are absolutely glorious if you use them as intended, like so, but they are just as beautiful if you snip into them, find little areas, find little elements that work so well in your card makes. So that's going to give us our anchor point. That's going to give us our start point for these orchids. At this point now, I'd like the orchid to kind of hug the side of the card, this is where your mirrored vignettes come into play. Mirrored vignettes are something really great when it comes to Carnation crafts. It means the artwork can be used in the two different orientations. It means the reverse of your die cut is just as beautifully coloured as the front. So you've got the normal orientation there, and then the one on the reverse, which means if I want something like this to hug around in this direction, I can change the look of the vignette. I just think that's so, so clever. So that's going to hug that way. I'm going to include, let's have a look, how I'm going to get another nice big orchid in here. Let's snip away. Let's snip away totally and just see where we get to. You can't ever go wrong when it comes to Carnation. If anything does not look quite right, as I've already said, you can just print it again, recut it, and you are good to go. I just think it's so incredibly clever having those unlimited downloads. And if you do create an account with us, your downloads are then saved to your account as well, which is great. If you log in when you download them, you're not then hunting around on your computer to try and find where the downloads are saved to. You can just download them again straight from our website, which is so, so handy. So again, just by cutting out that central orchid, you're giving yourself that extra little area, that extra stretch, if you like, to the design. That's going to leave us with a few little orchids that we could use just to add into the composition. So I'm just going to trim those around and remove any of the stalks and things like so. And I think that's going to look nice. How many got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got a nice odd number going on. I think that I might leave that there for now. And then I might just have a little bit to the top as well. Whenever you're placing in designs, it's always worth keeping in mind balance. So at the moment, we've got quite a bottom heavy corner here. You want to then go in and balance that off to the top. So I think for this one, what I might try and do is just take maybe like so. So now you've got your sort of 3 big orchids making a triangle. Remember, when it comes to looking at items, looking at things, having that triangular aspect with 1, 2, 3 makes the eye automatically go to the center of your card, which is really important as well. I'm going to leave it there for the orchids for the minute. I haven't shaped anything yet either, so we've still got time to mix things up. I think we'll have our giraffe sitting to one corner. I think that's so, so sweet. But perhaps we want them, or the little giraffe, just sort of encapsulated by an orchid as well, which might look quite pretty. So again, we can go in and trim down. So many options, so many ways of using these, which is just fantastic. Linda says, absolutely love this die set. Going to have another play with the tonight with the orchids, not used those yet. Ah, Linda, I can't wait to see what you make with them. They are such a pretty die set. They just work so wonderfully together. So here, let's have perhaps the orchids interacting with the giraffe. And you're just kind of building in that design. So now the giraffe doesn't look like he's just placed on top of the card. He looks like he's part of. I don't know whether Mammoth is going to make an appearance in this. There may not be enough room for him, but you could put him instead of the giraffe or the orchid. You know, you could mix things up and have the animals along the bottom if you wanted. But I think I'm just going to stick with Mr. Giraffe for the minute. And maybe even have another orchid framing him. Having the ability to snip into these die cuts, having the ability to change things up, just makes everything so beautifully fluid around your design. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I think that's quite a nice composition. And of course, we can then go in with our little tuck-ins and just break up that pink background, giving you a little bit more detail to the design as well. Just little tuck-ins here and there as added extras. I think that's going to look really, really pretty. Once I'm happy with the composition, we're going to begin sticking. At this stage, if you need a little guide, a little hand, do consider taking a photograph as something to refer back to. I'm just going to move you guys out for the second. All of you guys, and you top one. move my card base out of the way, and we're going to add some little height and shaping to our orchids and our designs here. So I'm going to do that using my poker tool on the leaves. Remember, when it comes to carnation crafts, do consider giving yourself lots and lots of height and dimension, lots of detailing, lots of elements to your design. Adding in that texture just brings those petals to life. It brings those buds to life. It gives you a lot of shaping. I'm going to pull those little petals forward on that one. Notice how I also lay things out on my mat. That one lives at the top of the card, so it's going to live at the top of the mat. Just stops me getting confused with where I'm putting things. Whereas these little base ones are going to go along the base of the card as well. Let's just see if we've got any questions coming in. No, I don't think so. That's fabulous. Hopefully I'm answering most points as we go. Don't forget, you can ask your questions if you wish. It gives you the great opportunity to do so with these live and interactive shows. Frederica says, must try this demo when I get the set. Gorgeous with just card bases and flowers. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's one of those things, Frederica, you can just tailor it to however you want it to look. We're here just to give you a little bit of inspiration for you guys to then run with at home. Okay, I think that's enough shaping. Whilst we're here, let's give our little giraffe some shaping as well. So to shape, what we're using is our dense foam mat and our ball tools. And we're just going in and rounding off. We're choosing an appropriate size ball tool and just rounding that off against the foam mat. Things like when you've got the detailing of the eyes, go in with a smaller ball tool and just pick out that detailing as well. It just gives you this lovely rounded look to your die cuts there. Now let's start sticking. Let's start sticking these in place. Now, because we're going to be quite fluid with the design or with the finish, I'm going to be using my Pinflair glue gel, which I'm just going to ungunk from the last time I used it. So I'm just using a poker tool to unblock the nozzle. Whenever you're finished with your Pinflair, the easiest thing to do is use the cap provided, but also squidge a little bit of the glue out and leave that to go hard, leave that to dry. That then gives you almost like a little plug that you can pull away. I must have been in a bit of a rush. I wonder when I last used this, probably on air actually. There we go. So we've got the glue flowing again. So let's start with that first orchid that's going to travel up the side of the card. And we're just going to add a little bit of glue to a couple of those petals. And then place, on our card. Like so. The reason we like to use Pinflair is it gives you that wiggle room. It gives you that chance to go back in and adjust. So you're not committed fully to that stick until you are completely happy with your design. Like so. We've got a little orchid. Where's my other little orchid bit? Other little orchid bit. Let's just use a white glue on this one. So I'm going to go in my glue applicator just along the stem. You notice I don't ever put on too much glue or anything like that when it comes to sticking down the die cuts. Reason being is I like the ability to have everything a little bit more free flowing on my card. So none of that's going to be stuck. It means if the recipient moves the card at all, you get a little bit of a shimmer, a little bit of just a little quiver, if you like, from the design. Top ones go in as well. Stace says, I honestly think this is one of the best collections. My heart is with the mammoth though, but the giraffe is super cute too. Yeah, I think the woolly mammoth is cute. I mean, how many times have you seen a woolly mammoth on a card? I just think it's fabulous. Linda says, beautiful. I think I will cut a couple of the animals too for a cutie anniversary card for a change instead of baby cards. Love them. Yeah, absolutely. That's the great thing. As we've said, it's not overtly baby, is it? It could be used for all manner of designs, all manner of beautiful reasons to be crafting with them. Janet says, I must try and be patient. I've placed my order for this set, but I'm still in Spain for a further 2 weeks at least. I'll be home. It will be home when I get back, along with some other buys. Or whoops, can't wait to play. That would be lovely. Well, I hope you're having a nice time in Spain. But yes, lots of goodies for you waiting at home by the sounds of it, Jeanette, which will give you lots and lots of inspiration to play with as well. Little bit of Pinflair on our giraffe. And we're just going to let him sit in amongst the orchids there. And then again, that little orchid, that little stem, if you like, is going to come around the front. So let's put a little bit of glue on that stalk as well, just to keep that in place. Carol says, I've ordered mine this morning, can't wait for it to arrive. Well, I know the team are already busy picking and packing all of your orders. So hopefully, depending on the postal service, we won't be too long before you receive your dies as well, Carol. Yes, Stacey's just said happy post after your holiday. Yeah, you can't beat a bit of a happy post, eh? Okay, so we got that little extra orchid bud there. Just going to tuck that in behind the giraffe. All we're doing here is kind of settling that giraffe into place. We're giving them a little, almost like a little reason for being, you know, it just gives them a little bit more prominence. It makes them part of the design without it being too placed. Okay, how's that looking? I think that looks quite sweet. Do I want some more leaves and things? Probably, knowing what I'm like. I might just trim that very, very edge down, just to fill that space just behind that orchid and make that orchid look like it's part. Yeah, that works, doesn't it? You see how you're filling that space with the buds and things? So now it looks like that orchid is coming away like from the actual main orchid as well. Again, a little bit of white glue on that just to anchor that in place too. So what I'm doing here is putting a little bit of white glue on the back and on the front using my glue applicator. That means it will stick not only to the card base but to the decoupage layers in front. And notice how when it comes to placement, we're letting elements of the design come over the edge of the card. When I say the edge of the card, what I mean is the mats and layers, okay? That just brings in the mats and layers. So rather than being quite, you know, everything's got to stay in this rectangle, you can absolutely go in and have things hanging over the edge a little bit just to keep them all linking. That's the word I'm looking for. I think I'm quite happy with that. So we've also got daffodils and we've also got tuck-ins. I'm going to use the tuck-ins behind. I'm going to round that one off a little bit because that's a little bit of a harsh line I've left on there. Just like so. And a little bit of white glue, again just acting as an anchor along the bottom. Having my glue applicator means I can get right into those little areas without splodging glue everywhere. And that is going to just lift and tuck. And all that little element there is going to do is just going to give you a little bit of texture behind your flowers. It's not going to be over the top, it's not going to be in your face, it's just going to be there to give you a little bit of curl, a little bit of accent behind those flowers, okay? Same with this little element here. We're going to lift and tuck. So it's not obvious, but it's just there. We need a little bit down here as well. Which one should we use? I want one slightly smaller than that, maybe this one. I don't think I'm going to end up using the edges of it too much. But again, it's so nice to have the opportunity to change your mind and go with different finishes should you wish. And then lifting and tucking. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy with that. Looks quite nice. I want to add anything that I do down the bottom here, because we're creating that balance to the top. I'm going to add a couple of little fan sections to the top. Again, not loads and loads, just a little something as an offering on the side there. Again, just trimming them down just to remove any straight edges. A little bit of glue. Do I want it there? No, where do I want it? There. And then let's go in with another little one as well. So essentially what we're doing with these is almost just framing the orchids. It's just another little layer. It's just breaking up between the white space and the pop of colour, easing that pop of colour in so it sits without too much juxtaposition. Tucking you in as well, just like so. All these little things that you're adding give added interest to your card designs. It gives the viewer of your card something to find on each inspection. Now it could be, I might not include these, but I think I'm going to. I've used a couple of the decoupage layers for the daffodils. Let's just see how they look tucked in to the overall design. Just a few of them tucked between the layers. What do you think? Do you think yes to the daffodils, no to the daffodils? I'm really not sure now. I'm thinking no, I might just leave those out. I'm quite liking just the simplicity of the orchids going on there. To finish, let's go in with our sentiment. We're going to have to the centre of our card, New Baby, cut from the perfect papers that accompany this set, cut from the sort of creamy and the butterscotch colours that will work with the giraffe. So you're creating a little nod, a little reference to that giraffe. So he's not just the only yellow thing. I thought the daffodils might include him, but yeah, we got a no for the daffodils. Thank you, Lynn. We'll just leave him as he is. Let's pop a little bit. Do I want pinflower or do I want... Yeah, I want pinflower. Let's go in with new, just like so. Use my tweezers just to position like so. And baby underneath, side, underneath. So all these little things when we're card making, all these little just choices we make. Just straighten that up, make sure I'm getting that straight like so. What do you guys think? I think that looks really sweet. I mean, you could add some little glossy accents, there's little raindrops on the petals here. You could add glitter if you wanted to, but I think for us, for this demonstration, that's going to be enough. Hopefully bringing you another technique with those apertures and things for something you can try at home there as well. Let's just see. Just pretty, pretty. Let's just turn that camera around because sometimes it looks different from the front as well. Oh, I just knocked that orchid. Sorry, orchid. Let's put you back. What do you guys think for a little New Baby card with the giraffe and the orchids as well? Really, really sweet. Hopefully you guys will find some inspiration with that card demonstration. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys create with these ideas, and of course the new light collection available today on our web launch from carnationcrafts.co.uk. If you would like to, don't forget to share your makes with us within our Facebook group, Carnation Crafters. As always, I will upload this video to not only our Facebook but also our YouTube channel afterwards as well. And I will take a photo for anyone that prefers photos and things like that to then follow along. I'll take a photo and pop that up on my page and in the group too for anyone to refer back to as well. Thank you all for joining me this afternoon. I think Carla's back on Sunday at 4 with a show preview of the USB Beautiful Calm that she will then be launching with Create and Craft on Monday the 7th of March at 8 AM. So tune in for that for all you USB lovers. I won't be here next week. I'm actually on holiday next week, so I personally won't be doing a Facebook Live. I don't know whether Carla's got one planned. So yeah, week off Facebook Lives next week, and then we will be back the following week with more shows, and then the week after that we've got a new dye launch as well on Create and Craft, so lots and lots to look forward to. If you're wondering where you can get information, discount codes, special offers, all that sort of thing, sneaky peeks, do consider signing up for our newsletter. You can sign up via our website carnationcrafts.co.uk/newsletter, and do hop on over to our friendly Facebook group Carnation Crafters to share your makes with us as well. Take care everyone, I shall see you in a week. Stay safe, lots of love, bye.